Welcome to the Inner Mystery of Life virtual lecture. I am a Windsor Lindor. To learn more about this transformative series, visit lindorconsulting.com. Although this is not an interactive session, you will hear reflective questions throughout the lecture. They are invitation for us to gently go deeper within, because inspirations begins right here. As we navigate the sea of life, let us ask ourselves, who do I choose to be? What are my beliefs? What are my true intentions? Was life meant to be a struggle? These questions awaken the human experience. They call us to navigate consciously, to allow life to unfold from its source in pure awareness. And that requires meditation, that is, unconscious intention and inner navigation. This is how we begin to reshape the beliefs that define our experience and transform them. This allows us to let go of struggle. And there we can step into a journey guided by responsive responsibility. This is a mindset rooted not in reactivity, but in presence. It's a mindset that grants us the ability to make choices that are not shaped by fears. They arise from a deeper understanding of who we are. So when I ask myself, who do I choose to be? What are my beliefs? What are my true intentions? Was life meant to be a struggle? You see, these questions force me to seek a compass, that is, principles that anchor me in clarity and illuminate my capacity to respond, not to react. That's powerful. And that power lives within all of us. It is the force that carries us across the sea of life, helping us unlearn what no longer serves us and master the core beliefs that shape our destiny. Now, what do I mean by core beliefs? You see, I am referring to the dominant thoughts woven into the fabric of our consciousness, internalized narratives about reality, beliefs we assume to be true, either from our own conclusions or those received from others. At the essence, core beliefs that I am referring to, they are thought forms, you see. They are mental constructs shaped by our experiences and our interactions with the world. And see, they become assumptions, often unconscious, held as absolute truths about us and our surroundings. Yes, they are emotional, psychological, frequently irrational, and yet profoundly influential. From a system perspective, think about core beliefs like they form the architecture of our mental model. You see, they define the perceived boundaries of who we are. and what we believe we can or cannot do. Now, these beliefs, they deeply impact our self-esteem, our confidence, and the way we show up in the world. Often, they don't serve us. Mm-mm. They confine us, obscuring a deeper awareness of who we are and obstructing our ability to live fully through a mindset of responsive responsibility, rooted in presence and denial. See these core beliefs? They are wired deep into the unconscious. These dominant thoughts act as templates for our lived experience. It's what happened. Repeat it over time. They begin to masquerade as truth. They may even appear more substantial than passing thoughts, only because we have invested in them, consciously or unconsciously. The way we do that by feeding them our sustained attention. Nevertheless, they are accepted convictions. Yes, beliefs we have assigned the highest level of trust. But even the belief we know to be true is still just that, a belief. In any belief system, absolute truth does not exist, even when the evidence seems abundant. In summary, what am I saying? Our core beliefs are they are dominant choices of thought, choices that drive every human behavior. We infuse them with emotion, and through that fusion, they manifest. They shape what we believe, what we expect, and what we permit ourselves to experience. In the end, our dominant thoughts, our core beliefs become action. Mhm. They bind to our creative force. And so to move life forward, we must first unlearn what no longer serves us and intentionally master the beliefs that shape our destiny. Otherwise, my friends, nothing we build upon a new foundation will hold. I will want us to take a moment or 30 seconds to reflect on our destiny and what has been said so far. Let me go ahead and take the clock. 30 seconds. Start now. Reflect on your destiny and what has been said so far. 5 seconds. Now, with the shaping of our destiny in mind. Now, let us begin by sitting with this question. All right, ready? Whose story am I living? What belief do I cling to? Not because it's true, but because it's familiar. Hmm? How would I describe my approach to this thing I call life, my life? Now, these are some of the questions that are designed to loosen the grip of cultural cliché that masquerade as identity, allowing a deeper, more authentic self to emerge. They also invite us to bring intentionality to our choices, reveal whether we are navigating life by default or by design. Now, One may want to ask what this matters for us as human beings, especially in becoming functional adults. Unexamined beliefs can harden into systems that resist innovation or empathy. Well, when individuals take time to investigate their internal frameworks, they develop deeper resilience, emotional agility, and a stronger sense of purpose. Yes, you see, the traits that ripple outward into their relationships, work, and legacy. Understand, understand this. If we hold a belief that we know to be true, what happened? Yes, we have assigned that belief the highest level of trustworthiness. However, understand this though. It is still a belief, not the truth. That is, a mindset with limited beliefs will make every effort to justify our reasons for not allowing a deeper, more authentic self to emerge. You see, this mindset does this by keeping us within its boundaries. It would hold us hostage. And there it used anxiety, fear, and self-loathing to keep us in a constant state of crisis throughout the formation of our lives. Now, as we contemplate the theme of ownership and authenticity into this reflection, I offer this observation. Right? Listen very carefully. When we examine the lives of certain individuals, we may witness a quiet, persistent resistance and refusal to engage with the mystery of their authentic self, rather than embracing full responsibility for both their inner and outer lives. See, they remain bound by dependence on external validation. Meaning is sought through the gaze of others. Their choices, paths, and sense of worth are affirmed by those outside themselves. My friends, you see, this displacement of ownership carries a cost. Yes, it does. For when we outsource meaning, we dilute the essence of who we are. True empowerment, really, true empowerment and true liberation, freedom begins when we release the need for approval and summon the courage to approach life on our own terms. Hmm. The sea of life is vast, true, sometimes calm, sometimes stormy, mirroring the rhythms of existence, relationships, change, success, loss, and uncertainty. And while we cannot control the waves, we can choose how we sail, how we live. See, this choice is not built on certainty, but shaped through curiosity. By inspecting our inner scaffolding, we open space for innovation, vulnerability, and alignment. We stop designing lives and systems from others' blueprints. There we begin crafting our own. My friends, I would like for you to consider these questions. How would I describe my approach to life? Where am I waiting for the world to validate what my soul already knows? What should I shift? What should shift in my life? Let me rephrase. What will shift in my life if I choose to be the source, not the seeker of meaning. Get that? Repeat. What would shift in my life if I choose to be the source, not the seeker of meaning? Let me go ahead and invite you to take 30 seconds to think, to reflect on these questions and what you have heard so far. Okay? 30 seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. These questions reframe us from something we do to something we embody. They ask, am I living intentionally? Or is life simply happening for me? They invite us to reclaim authorship. Yes, to meet the mystery of ourselves with curiosity and reverence. I believe these questions calls us into freedom, soul freedom, freedom to choose a dynamic mindset grounded in conscious values. This means taking full ownership of our inner world by examining the beliefs and values we were conditioned to accept, alongside those we have observed or adopted, often unconsciously, to the lens of someone else's paradigm. We pause to discern what truly supports our growth, purpose, releasing outdated narratives and choosing beliefs that align with who we really are or who we are becoming. My friends, this is truly a call to excavate our authentic self, a call to liberate ourselves from the traps of falsity and to reclaim the power to create what gives our life meaning. We do this through penetrating self awareness and the development of emotional intelligence. That we can keep the shadow ego in check. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Imagine how our lives and systems will evolve if we stopped shaping them around bold blueprints. Now, the truth is, this kind of transformation is not easy. Oh, no, 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 it's not easy. It requires immense inner power, courage, clarity, and conviction, and that power must be cultivated from within, rather generated by our own hands or drawn from the hands of others. Those hands are always outstretched. And if we have had enough of how things have been, if we are truly committed to keeping the shadow ego in check, then we must become the administrators of our own transformation. Transformational work, yes, it is a journey of many steps. Steps that wind us through ongoing evolution, calling us to become proactive, adventurous, and action-oriented. Actions that propel us toward who we choose to be, who we choose to become. Not individuals molded by the hunger for approval. No, 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 no. Not a patchwork of past identities clung to out of habit. No. But our authentic self, yes, still, clear, undivided, resting beneath it all. My friend, see, from this ground of being, our intentions do not arise from survival instincts or fleeting desires. for they emerge from presence, from the steady current of consciousness that remind us we are not here merely to survive life, no, but to fully experience it, to touch it with honesty, to shape it with care, and to allow it to shape us with meaning in return. So, my friends, what are our true intentions? Is it not to greet each moment with reverence and open eyes? Is it not to act with integrity, not for perfection, but for coherence? Not to is it not to remain whole within, even when the world fragments? Yes, our intention is to connect, not to possess, but to witness and honor. Yes, our intention is to create with purpose, expressing truth, not performance, to live beyond traces of meaning and presence. Is it not? Our intention is to welcome change and begin anew when needed. My friends, our intention is it not to believe, even when the shore is hidden, that faith carries us forward. My friends, for me, no, personally, me, Windsor, see, these intentions are living vows. They, they may not once, but continually. They are not rigid declarations, no, but gentle reminders who I long to be. When I am when I am most honest, most awake, most at peace. And yes, I would drift. Of course, I'm human. There will be days I forget. When takes the helm, when old patterns reemerge like storms on the horizon. But even then, my friends, the compass remains. The true self is never lost, only obscured. And remembering, I return again and again and again. So as I navigate the sea of life, I do not seek certainty. No. I seek clarity. Yes. I seek presence. Yes. I seek truth. And from that intention, from who I choose to be, my vow is to live in alignment with the deeper current, to move not as a stranger to myself, but as one who remembers the way home. And with remembering the way home in mind, let us pause for a moment and reflect with these questions. Ready? What will it take to find the courage to transcend my current mindset with all its limitation and embody my authentic self? What would it take for me to change the changeable, accept the unchangeable, and remove myself from what is unacceptable? Why don't we go ahead and take 30 seconds to reflect with these questions and on what you have heard so far? 30 seconds. Start now. Ten seconds. 5. Our world is shifting. It is our responsibility to cultivate environments that honor emotional intelligence, to uncover the keys that help us understand the complex interplay of forces that shape our rage, our fear, and joy. You see, my friends, in this inner landscape, we are called to become intelligent about the emotional habits that sabotage our intentions and to rise into the power of living in alignment with emotional wisdom. We must engage this wisdom intentionally, strengthen our resilience, and they find the means to cultivate emotional intelligence and the courage to see change not as a threat, however, as an invitation to reclaim our inner territory and to staying grounded in the qualities we most deeply value as fully functional, intentional human beings. With reclaiming our inner territory in mind, let us begin by contemplating a few essential questions. Ready? Who is the one who steps over the threshold into the prison of image, the image of expectations, the prison of attachment, and the prison of anxiety? Mhm. What would it take for me to reclaim my inner territory and root myself in the qualities I value as a functional, whole human being? What would it take for me to see beyond my current mindset? And what does it truly mean to take 100% responsibility for my life? Hmm? Now, let's pause for 30 seconds again to reflect with these questions. 3 seconds. Again, who is the one who steps over the threshold into the prison of image? The image of expectations, the prison of attachment, and the prison of anxiety. What will it take for me to reclaim my inner territory and root myself in the qualities I value as a functional whole human being? What will it take for me to see beyond my current mindset? And what does it truly mean to take 100% responsibility for my life? My friends, you see, these questions matter because in this life, there are no psychological police. Only we can choose to step into the prisons of image, attachment, expectation, and anxiety. Yes, we build these walls ourselves. We did. And we do. We continue to do that with unchecked beliefs, looping thoughts, and feelings left unattended. You see, this prison is not imposed on us. It is constructed internally. And the punishment, mostly self-inflicted, it becomes a helpless place when we forget that we hold the key. Yes, we do. Because it's the call to transformation, resolute and uplifting. But this, I know, this is your life. Now, let me individually address each one of you. It is your life. If you have been yearning to become an expert in living it, to refresh your spirit, feel spontaneous, be free, and live a more loving, prosperous, and balanced life, then today is the day. Stop recycling old stories of blame and take full responsibility. Yeah. Is it easy? No, of course not. It's not easy. But the path to transformation rarely is. It's not. It requires us to claim who we want to become by reclaiming our personal power. Power to step outside our comfort zone. Power to clarify what truly matters. Power to change old patterns and develop the mindset needed to reclaim our inner territory. Changing patterns take effort, my friends. And how thrilling it is to witness new life taking form. Isn't that beautiful? Now, this is your invitation to discover the confidence and the creative courage needed to make conscious decisions. Yes, I am referring to decisions that allow you to stop designing your life in systems based on other people's blueprints. Yes, this is your moment. A moment to take the steps for clarity. Yes, the moment to be motivated. Now, there's the deal right there. The deal is to develop the mindset necessary to reclaim our inner territory, where we must surrender every excuse, every narrative that blames circumstances outside ourselves. Break the mold, release the story, abandon the limiting beliefs. Let your core values, yes, my friend, guide you. They will build a structure that honors the life you want, yes, and keep you moving forward with meaning. Now, if the spark of responsibility is left unattended, my friend, it will flicker and fade. And when it does, this is where we return to hollow roles and ready-made routine that limit our possibilities. It's also a moment for personal empowerment. True, the choice, the choice is ours. Yes. There, therefore, go ahead, dare to take 100% responsibility for our lives. Do the work. Live a life of substance, guided by values that offer clarity. Okay, I get it. Yes, yes, yes. We face challenges. This is a difficult world we're living in. But it's also our response, not the challenges itself. No, it's our responses that determines our well-being. So remember, we are the administrators, the only ones responsible for the lifelong work of building our most meaningful life. That is the privilege. That is the adventure. So do the inner work, friends. Rebuild your belief system. Choose your path deliberately. Make a personal commitment to let go of fear and invest every day in a life worth living. Not a life of lip service, but a life of meaning. A life committed to emotional wellness. Yes, your responsibility, your courage, your choice, your life. For as we navigate the ever shifting terrain of our world, I invite you within the next 24 hours, come on, you can do it, to pause for a moment of meaningful reflection. Not the kind of reflection that skims the surface. This one, this one calls us inward and challenges us to look deeper, lead more consciously, and live with greater intention. To guide this reflection out for you is a set of transformative questions. You ready? Ask yourself, why do I do what I do? Am I consciously shaping my life or merely reacting to it? Am I the author or simply following the script handed to me? What does it mean to be fully alive in this moment? What outdated beliefs or habits must I release to access my true nature and live the life I deeply desire? And perhaps most powerfully, what am I truly committed to creating regardless of circumstances? Go ahead. Let's pause for 30 seconds and reflect on those questions and what you have heard so far. 3 seconds. See, these are not casual inquiries. No, they're not casual questions. They are life-altering provocations. And the answers call for more than thought. They demand bold ownership, unwavering commitment, and deliberate action, ladies and gentlemen. Action to reclaim your personal freedom. Yes, your freedom. Action to become the intentional architect of your life. This is where your power resides, where resilience is forged, inner conflict dissolves, and guilt, shame, and fear no longer hold sway. From this place, you transcend survival. You rise to lead. You choose emotional wellness. You release struggle. You step into a journey guided by responsive responsibility. Yes, a mindset rooted in deeper self awareness. And that, my friends, is freedom, liberation. So this brings us to today's lectures to a close. I hope you will join us next month for another deep reflection of the inner mystery of life series. If this message stirs questions or reflection, I warmly invite you to connect with me at Windsor at LindorConsulting.com. So for now, may we each look toward the horizon of a new day, open to the insights that guide our next course, and ready to enter the gate of the life we are truly meant to live. So thank you for listening and be well.